Watch this. Every pro player uses one of two return systems, and picking the wrong one for your game is costing you points. In this section, we're talking about facing an unfamiliar opponent, how to position yourself based on your strongest stance. There are two main receive systems. The first, used by Fan Zhendong and Zhang Jike, is built around the backhand banana flick. The second, used by Ma Long and Ma Lin, is built around a forehand pivot stance. Let's start with the first system, the one used by Zhang Jike, Fan Zhendong, and on the women's side, Chen Meng, Wang Manyu, and Liu Shiwen. They all share the same approach. The advantage of this stance is that it lets your backhand strength shine. Look at the stance. Both feet are roughly parallel, and some players even put the right foot slightly forward. That's perfectly fine for a backhand-dominant system. The beauty of this approach is you only need to focus entirely on reading the incoming serve, whether it's long or short, left or right. You don't need excessive footwork or mental guessing beforehand. Why? Because from this stance, if the serve comes short to my forehand, I just step in with one small adjustment. If it's long to my backhand, I'm already in position, maybe a tiny shift. So I can reach everything without heavy prejudgment. What makes this stance truly dominant is that anything to my left side, I can cover in one step. Now, against an unfamiliar opponent in an unfamiliar setting, keep it simple. Focus on adding spin and friction. Use a light banana flick to get the ball on the table and engage in rallies. Feel out your opponent's overall level and depth. If they're clearly above you, commit fully and add quality. If 70% effort on your receive friction is enough to control the match, then use that approach. Don't blindly attack when your opponent is only slightly weaker. That reckless gambling can cause an upset loss on a match you should have won. That's a mindset issue. Now let me demonstrate the backhand receive stance. I'll have my partner serve anywhere on the table, long, short, random placement. That hit the edge, no problem, it happens. Watch how little I move. I don't need to predict anything, I just track his hand at contact. My settings are simple. If it's long, I loop. If it's short and slightly high, I attack. For the banana flick, this isn't gambling. On a short backhand serve, I brush the left underside of the ball, creating a high arc with spin. The priority is generating rotation, maintaining consistency, and keeping a high margin for error. That's the core approach. Now serve to the full table. No need to predict if it comes to my forehand, I just step right and keep the ball short and low. Think about it. If the opponent is unfamiliar to you, you're equally unfamiliar to them. They won't attack recklessly either. If they do, their hand is probably tense and they'll likely make unforced errors. So calculate the odds. That short touch I just played would be excellent for amateur level. Can they really attack every ball like that? In a best-of-5 match, 11 points per game, can they sustain that aggression for every single ball? Let's test it. I'll play my short touch at this quality and see. That response was a neutral flick, perfectly fine, because now we enter a rally sequence. The receive phase is already handled successfully. Watch the advantage of this central stance. I barely need to
那
move.
么这样，其实我们接发球的环节已经是比较成功的去解决了这个环节啊。那么再试一下啊，就是这个站中间的站位的一个好处啊。大家可以看，我几乎不动，看来。
Like I said, you don't need much prejudgment. With this stance, you must commit to receiving with your backhand. If I try to pivot and use my forehand from this position, watch. The footwork becomes clunky and the whole movement feels sluggish. This stance simply isn't designed for stepping around to play forehand. The transition is too complex. So remember, if your backhand is strong, you absolutely need a reliable banana flick and a solid backhand push.
在上位，它的过程会比较复杂一点，所以说大家一定记住了，你反手好一定要具备什么呢？反手的常规拧拉，还有反手的搓球一定要注意好啊。
A heavy backhand push, I split the ball deep. Ideally, add a short forehand touch for control. That's the complete system for this stance. You saw clearly, on every long ball, I never pivot to forehand. This stance tells your opponent you're backhand dominant. Look at the top players, Wang Manyu, Chen Meng, Fan Zhendong. Against equally matched opponents, they never pivot from this position. If I try to pivot from here, watch, I get jammed and cramped. This is a simple choice. From this stance, 2/3 of the table, the entire left side, long or short, I solve everything with my backhand.
你看，很容易自己把自己挤入，明白吗？所以大家一定，这个就是一个选择题，你就很简单的设定，我不管，我只要这么站，这2/3台，左半台的长与短，我全部用反手解决。
Very smooth. And the best part, my body stays relaxed because I don't need to guess.
而且很容易什么呢？我身体一让，哎，我不用猜。
It's all about setting this mindset for yourself. Many players are naturally gifted with backhand feel. There's no need to blindly chase skills you're not built for. For example, if you play reverse penhold backhand and you're balanced on both sides, don't force yourself to copy Ma Lin's forehand dominant short game. Choose the system that fits your strengths. Don't follow trends blindly.
非常完美的台内控制，所以说这就是一个明显的选择题，大家一定要选择适合自己的啊，不要盲目的去跟风。